Welcome to Rick's Corner. I have a special guest today, and all my guests are special, but this is a special one from Australia, Demeteriou, who's a bodybuilder who has won how many titles in Australia?
6 Mr. Australia titles.
6 of them.
Yeah.
That's pretty darn good.
Yeah, I'm pretty proud of it.
You should be. And you're 12 years old, you said?
I'm 38 now.
38.
Yeah.
And you started bodybuilding when you were 16?
Yeah, 16, and I went in my first comp when I was 17.
What gave you the desire to become a bodybuilder?
I was always good at sports at school, and I was interested about nutrition, and I grew up on a farm, and I spent a lot of my young years working on the farm, and I developed a quite muscular physique.
Just from that?
From that, yeah.
And how was your diet?
My diet was just good healthy food that Mum used to cook, and a lot of the food came from the farm as well, so it was all natural.
All natural.
Yeah.
I have a feeling about natural foods. I don't know if you saw my Rick's Corner. This is it's not really serious, but think about it, because we're going to go back to you for a minute. Natural foods, they say you got to have natural foods because they're better for you.
Yeah.
But natural foods, when I buy them at Trader Joe's, they get moldy on my counter after 3 days.
Yeah.
But the foods with all the preservatives last months.
Yeah.
So that tells me something. If we eat preservatives, we'll last longer, right?
Exactly.
That's what I always thought.
Yeah.
But people keep telling me, "Oh, no, you're not. That's not true. You're not right about that." I'm probably not right about that, but I thought it was funny anyway.
Well, you're doing something right. You're looking pretty good for your age.
For 91, I'm not doing too bad.
Yeah.
So when you started training, did you know anything about diet, or you just ate?
I knew all the fundamentals because the second book I bought after the bodybuilding magazine was Nutrition Almanac. I bought that when I was 15 years old. So I studied all about nutrition from an early age.
So you knew what to do.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the advantage you had, because many guys today, many bodybuilders, including myself, when I started out, I didn't know what to eat. I had spaghetti and meatballs. I drank 3 quarts of milk a day because milk makes you bigger.
Yeah.
And also makes you fatter. And then you got to cut it back. But for some reason, even doing that, I always had good abs. And people say, "How'd you get those abs?" I said, I only do 100 reps a day. But it's one of those things that, like you have a body part that works. Because that's the only one, because nothing else did.
Yeah. I've got good abs as well. But the photos that I saw of you back with Arnold and all that, you always seem to have a decent set of abs. Were you like lean all year round?
I have no idea why. I have no idea. They just stayed there. And even today, I still have them. And I don't eat as tight as I used to, but I eat desserts now and then, because why shouldn't I? What am I going to do? I'm not going to compete again, right? And in wrestling, you had to be heavier anyway, but you still had to have a good body in the ring, because flesh sells.
That's right.
And she told me you were interested in wrestling.
Yeah, I actually did a few wrestling gigs, like for some websites, just to make some money to support my bodybuilding, and I really enjoyed it.
Really?
Yeah, like WWE style wrestling,
like we do out here.
Yeah.
There's money in it for the guys on top. And they just brought out a new guy, and you probably know him. He's like 6'6", 300-something pounds on WWE, bodybuilder.
Yeah. Not Rob Terry?
There's
the big blonde guy?
No, this guy's dark with dark hair.
Oh, right.
And I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
Huge, and he looks good, and people will love that. I mean, with a body like yours, you go in the business and you get a push. Yeah. You can do very well.
Wow.
The only thing is if you're competing for bodybuilding and you're wrestling, wrestling has a lot of injuries.
Yeah.
And there's always something during a match that you hurt. I've ripped my tricep. I ripped both quads in 2001. I've torn my shoulder. I mean, you name it, you hurt it, and you want to go back to the gym and you can't train. Yeah. So it really kind of screws you up. Yeah. So it's something to think about maybe down the road after you win the Mr. Olympia 6 times, because I'm sure you probably will, if we have something to do with it. Yeah. And then you might want to take your title then in your name and then go into it. Yeah. It's always a chance. Yeah. I mean, you might be too old by then. I don't know.
Maybe I can do like a special guest appearance.
Well, yeah, something like that would be fine. So you're training how many days a week now?
I'm training. I train every day, and if I feel a bit run down, I just take a day off. Yeah. Because I'm not working at the moment, so I'll get plenty of time to rest throughout the day.
You think the rest is important?
Oh, very important. Yeah.
More than the workout, maybe.
Yeah, I guess I spend more time resting than working out.
How many body parts do you train a day, and how many times a week on each body part?
I do a 4-day split.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll do back on its own. I do chest and triceps, biceps and delts, and quads.
In a 4-day period?
Yeah.
And how many sets per body part?
It varies. Like for instance, biceps, I only do 1 exercise, just the preacher curls, or Scott curls.
That's it?
Yeah, and I do like a triple set. I'll choose a weight and I'll do 10 reps. Have like a 10-second break and do another 10, and then another 10 on the same weight. I'll do that about 4 or 5 times. So
and that's it for bicep?
That's it for bicep. So I'm doing 12 to 15 sets total, if you count.
On one exercise?
Yeah.
And then the next time you do bicep, do you do a different exercise?
No, pretty much the same. I just stick to that.
Unless you get tired of it.
Yeah, but I just love it so much. I just get such a good pump in it. I wish I could find an exercise for each body part like that, where they just blow up.
I understand that. You got a good pump last week when you were doing your photo shoot, holding that dumbbell for 2 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
That was funny.
Yeah.
You're holding that thing and holding that thing. Hold that pose, hold that pose.
Yeah.
My God, how much more can you do with that?
Yeah.
That's interesting that you do that. And so that body part's only done once in 4 days.
Yeah.
And then the next week you pick it up again.
Yep.
So basically you're doing the body part once a week.
I'm doing almost twice a week. So every 8 days I'm doing.
All right, but it runs into the next week.
Yeah.
It rotates.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back in the day of Larry Scott, we were just talking about him. Training used to be, it was different back then. We'd do each body part 3 times a week, which is a lot, but not as many sets, and you would overtrain.
Right.
You know, you could overtrain. And then when I went down to Venice and started training in 69, 70 with the rest of the guys, everything was twice a week.
Yeah.
And we work out 6 days.
Right.
But you do get beat down.
Yeah.
I get tired. I don't know. It's like a lot all the time, and then if you're doing cardio on top of that, it can wear you out.
Did you have a day job as well, like Franco and Sergio?
No, we never had day jobs.
Okay.
We didn't work.
They were laying bricks or shoveling coal or something?
Yeah, but not really. No. Not really. Franco was a bricklayer.
Yeah.
And he'd work when he wanted to. And he called me one day. He says, I have to make a chimney up in Westwood. Would you go with me? I said, sure. So he picked me up in his Mustang. We went up Wilshire Boulevard about 80 miles an hour. Yeah. Because that's how he drives. We get up there. He gets on the roof. He has me mix the cement and climb the ladder and bring him the cement and the bricks all day.
Yeah, the tough job.
I had the tough job. Then he wanted to leave and go back to the gym and work chest and back at 7 o'clock at night. I said, nope, I'm done. Yeah. That's hard work.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, it's different today than it was back then. Back then, the phone would ring in Gold's, and it'd be one of the movie studios and say, we need some bodybuilders for a show. And I'd answer the phone, and all of us would go down and we'd get a job. Yeah. Making 600, 700 a day. You know, so
was that consistent? Could you make it?
Pretty much, you know, because you'd work a certain amount, and then you would get laid off the show, and you go for unemployment. Yeah. So then you collect your unemployment. Right. So you just rotate. And then I was wrestling at night 5 nights a week, so I made cash doing that. Yeah. So I was fortunate enough to lay on the beach and go on auditions and then wrestle at night and have an income. Right. But if you had a day job, it was tough because a lot of guys like yourself who would come out from other places, they had money saved and they'd run out. Yeah. And then they'd have to get a job at a bouncer in a club or somewhere, and it was really hard. Yeah. And they'd leave, and then 3 more guys would come in and replace them. I used to watch it. It was like a cycle of just turnover of people all the time. Yeah. But, you know...
That happened to me as well. I came and I ran out of money. Yeah. I even had to spend one night on Venice Beach sleeping under a palm tree because I had no money for accommodation.
And see, now, if Joe Gold had been alive, he'd let you stay in the gym. Yeah. He did that. He'd had people living on the roof and in the showers. All right. Remember Bill Pettis? Did you meet Bill? No. Bill's a legend in down at the beach. He's a black guy, about 65 years old. He's kind of slow mentally, and he always wears these gold chains, and he hangs around in his posing briefs, but he never had any money, and Joe Gold took care of him. He let him sleep let him clean up at the gym, and he had to let him sleep there. Right. But he was real good about that. If you needed a place to stay or you couldn't afford membership, he'd let you train for free. Yeah. That's how nice it was.
Yeah. Ed Connors helped me out a few times.
Ed's a good guy. Yeah. A real good guy. Yeah. So you're not working now?
No, I'm just working on my website, and hopefully that'll start generating some money.
I went to your website. It's very nice. Yeah. Are you doing that yourself?
No, I've got a web designer.
Did a great job on that.
Yeah.
And tell me more about what you want to do about the Olympia. That's your aspiration, right?
Yeah, well, the highest I've ever placed in the pro show is 5th in the Orlando Europa. Mm-hmm. And I just want to qualify for the Olympia. So if I would have placed 2 places higher, I would have qualified. So that's my goal.
All right, and I think you will.
Yeah?
Oh, I think so. I can't see why not.
What do I have to do to make it the next
step? You got to give me a lot of money.
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I mean, you got every body part.
Yeah.
Nothing's lagging, is it? Hi, I'm Rick Drasin. You know me from Rick's Corner. You know me from the legends of the golden era of bodybuilding in the 70s, training with all the greats at Gold's Gym with Schwarzenegger, Draper, Columbo, Zane, Menser, all of them. And you also know that I write articles for bodybuilding.com and RX Muscle about the legends of the past, about our training programs of the past, and about our diet. Many of you write to me and they have questions about what did we do, how did we train, how did Arnold train, what did Draper do, what did we eat, what was the secrets to our success back in those days. And Basically, it was hard work, but there were certain programs that we did that we followed old school methods and old school diet that worked, which was a lot different than it is today. Today is more scientific, but we got results. We got good results. And we didn't have that bloated look like the guys do today. So what I'm offering you right now is personal training online, and I'm one of the few doing it because I'm one of the few guys left from that golden era. Thank God I'm still alive and kicking. So I can work with you on a personal basis, one-on-one. If you want to sign up, go to my website, rickdrasin.com, and click on personal training. What you will do is fill out a form and send me your stats, your size, a photo, your workout, and your diet. I will restructure that to fit you so that you make the top gains that you're looking to make with our golden era workouts and our diet from back then. Each workout is specifically designed for you. I wouldn't give you something I give somebody else, like a doctor wouldn't give everybody the same medicine. But if this is what you want to accomplish, go to my website, rickdrasin.com, and click on personal training and look it over. See if it's for you. The price is extremely reasonable. It's $50 a week. Personal trainers today charge $65 to $175 per hour, and they're not even getting results with their clients. They're just walking them through it and talking on their cell phones. But I will work with you. I'm accessible, and this is worldwide. You guys who email me from Europe and all over the places, New Zealand, and you want workouts, now's your chance to catch me and catch me working with you, because I don't know how much longer I'm going to be around. Who knows? We don't know. It could happen tomorrow. It could happen 20 years from now. But take advantage of my knowledge and my time that I spent 40 years of training, and let me train you. Please do it, and call me soon or email me soon. All my information is on my website, and I'll help you become the champion you want to become. rickdrasin.com, and don't forget it. Stay tuned for more Rick's Corner, because I'm bringing a lot of stuff your way.